make you reform and do what is right, and that's constructive criticism, of course. But now, if I ask you that usual thing and you are repeating it, it means that it has become a part and parcel of you.
No, people thinking that I am proud is not me. So if I have over 100 people thinking that I am proud, it doesn't mean that it's me. On the other hand, I can also have over 100 people who have had an encounter with me and would say that, oh, he has what it takes, he's very humble, he's very engaging. So one way or the other, people criticize. And if you're asking me of the usual thing, something that at any point, if it has to do with criticism, people talk about, that is why I mentioned. But it doesn't mean it's something that everywhere I go, people say. But that's the usual thing that at any point, someone wants to criticize me, push that up.
So what is your approach to a constructive criticism?
So my approach to constructive criticisms is finding ways to clear the doubts.
Because if you're saying, if 100 people are saying you're proud, and more than 100 are not saying you're proud, you just neglect the 100 people who are saying you're proud.
No.
What would you do?
So I need to put up a behavior that would change the mindset of the people. And it happens. You might meet someone who has been told that he is proud from a distance. He thinks you are proud. And such people, when I meet them, because I have foreknowledge of what they think about me, I try my best to give them the real.
If you don't have foreknowledge, you do not have foreknowledge of, you don't know what they think of you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
Of course. So how can you change that perception when you do not even know?
So I give them the real me. That is me. I'm not proud. I'm humble. So anybody who has heard by people's criticisms that I'm proud, when you encounter me, you notice it's quite different.
So that means you don't assess yourself.
I do.
Because it looks like if someone says you're proud, you don't care about it.
I do assess.
You are just going to, but you never said it. In all this conversation you're having with him, you never said that you're going to assess yourself. You just kept going back and forth. I'm going to show you who I am, who I am.
So
because you see, when you're looking for a position, it's easy to look very humble.
Yeah.
It is very easy. So long as you know you're looking for a position, you're contesting for a position, and you know that if I meet anyone contesting, anyone who is going to vote for you, you would want to present yourself as humble. Do you understand me? So if people are saying you're proud, and in your conversation with him, you never mention that you assess yourself, I have a challenge with that. Because I won't be surprised that when you win the position, you start acting proud.
Not at all. This happens not to be the first office I am putting myself for. Respectfully, if you peruse my CV, you would know that I've held quite a number of positions. And if today I put myself up for NUGS president, it happens to even be taking place, that is the vetting process in the campus that I led as an SRC president. There are a number of people who are here who can attest that he is not a proud person, even after taking office. And I can prove this point to you from the perspective of first-year students who came to school and they needed access to accommodation. I never felt comfortable sitting in my comfort zone.
So at no point will you assess yourself? Because after everything I said, you are still not. At no point will you assess yourself.
I will. Assessing myself means proving myself to them that what they think about me is not
Assessing
who I
yourself
am.
does not mean you are proving yourself to anybody. No. You don't assess yourself by proving yourself to anybody. Because if you're assessing yourself, you sat down, you self-reflected, and you are looking at what they are saying. If it could have been an action or inaction of yours that could have made them think so, before you'd realize, okay, let me go in this direction to see if it would go well. But if you say assessing yourself is proving yourself to people, I do not get that. So for me, I am thinking that it could also be that because of the position you're looking for, you may want everybody to think that you're humble.
Oh, well, that's not true. That's why I retreated.
When was the last time you did a self-assessment?
Yesterday.
Yesterday at what time?
Yesterday in the evening when I was preparing for vetting.
What was going through your mind with that?
I just felt within me that there would be a stage in the course of the discussion that would ask me to give a SWOT analysis of myself. And that is when I realized that I need to look at my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my threats.
Nobody will ask you this question. I promise.
I know.
Anybody who has planned to ask this question, nobody is asking that.
So that is how I assessed myself yesterday.
Nobody. So that's the question that you ask. So what analysis? You. How will you ask me that? No, nobody will ask you that.
Okay, like why I said this was I asked you the question first. So I think first you didn't understand the question. So you said the first answer was not on track. But I think on the second you came right. But I said, what is that usual thing that people critique for? I didn't even say some people. But I said people critique for. It means collectively it should be the entire student, over 12.5 million students critique you of. You are not the president currently, but maybe in your position of put you have pledged. People criticize you. Let me learn. And you said that they are presuming you are proud. Of which you, if 100 people are saying you are proud and the rest are saying you are not proud. But I think that it gives you more, it's so alarming that if you are leading people, or maybe if you are engaging people and they are saying you are proud, you should ask yourself, why me? That is where the self-assessment comes in. Why me? Why is that people keep telling me I'm proud? That's where you need to assess yourself to know why. Because if somebody should tell you are this, then it means that there's a reason for you to check yourself out. So I think that in as much as you are in the quest of becoming the next president of this particular middle of the country, then you should be looking at these things.
Thank you very much for that advice.
All right. So you're going to take questions from Mr. Palmer, Awal, and Vito. We'll end this session.
All right. So just as an individual, you have your aims and objectives. The union has got its own aims and objectives. Take us through. Give us our 5 or 10.
So, firstly, one of the major objectives of the National Union of Ghana Students is to present quality and adequate representation for students, especially in external engagement, either outside or with the government. On the other hand, it is also an aim and an objective of the organization to ensure that it mobilizes student leaders together and take ideas from them, the challenges that they are going through in their various schools, and propose solutions and offer a helping hand to them. One other aim and objective of the association is to ensure that based on the social capital that it has established as an association, it would be able to create a leveraging platform for the member institutions to capitalize on it and have access to sponsorship packages and other support systems that can boost their operations in their various institutions. It is also one other aim and objective of National Union of Ghana Students is also to offer a grooming platform for student leaders as we nurture our vision into the mainstream politics. The last one is to also create a unique platform that will give a voice of students when it has to do with national issue of political interest, educational interest, or welfare of students.
All right. And so, which of the articles stipulate your duty as the president, so far as the union is concerned?
Chapter 4, Article 17.
Okay. What are some of the duties you are going to perform as a president?
The president is
as stipulated in the constitution. I mean,
the president is the major mouthpiece for the students or the institutions he's leading in terms of delegation, that is membership institutions. He also serves as a principal signatory to the NUGS account. And then the NUGS president also, he chairs every meeting of the National Union of Ghana Students.
now, what are the structures? Before you even go to it, which of the articles deals with that?
So the exact article that talks about the structures is off my head because the document is a reference book. I would have to refer. But the structures,
if it is off your head, it is off your head.
Yes, it is.
Giving the compliment and all that.
But
so,
the structures I know.
Okay. And so what are they?
So the structures are from Congress, which is the highest decision-making body, to the Central Committee, to NEC, NEO, and then the National Secretariat.
All right. And then take us through the blocks. The blocks we have, so far as NUGS is concerned.
Okay, so we have the Teacher Trainee Association of Ghana, we have the Nursing Students Association of Ghana, we have the University Students Association of Ghana, we have Ghana University of Professional Students, that is GAT, and then we have NUGS, the Ghana National Universities, Technical Universities, that's the NUGS. And then we have the International Student Bloc, and then we also have the NASPA, National Service Team also.
Which body has the sole mandate to ratify a new law?
Congress.
So you can't ratify a new law.
I check Congress meetings, so I lead.
So you alone can't ratify.
No, I don't have. I cannot.
Why Congress?
Because Congress is the highest decision-making body, and before you can ratify an institution to be a part of the NUGS, Congress, which happens to accommodate every member who contributes to the growth of the association, needs to have a voice in it. And hence, in the sense of creating an inclusive system of governance, they should all have a say and a stake in why we need to add this institution to NUGS and why not.
Okay, so you are not. So if an institution also wants to succeed out of the NUGS, what is the procedure?
If an institution wants to succeed,
pull out. Withdraw out of.
I'm not clear with the process, admittedly, but they would have to formally write, giving reasons why they would want to stay out of NUGS.
And if they don't give you reasons, they can't stay out.
Legitimately, because you are ratified to be a part of it. So if for a reason you don't want to be a part of it, it's best that the union gets to know why you don't want to be a part of it. And then possibly if there are some means of finding a remedy to the challenges that is leading you to exit the union, we find ways to work around it because we need everybody on board. And if a bloc decides to leave NUGS, it means a chunk group of students are being denied access to the benefits of NUGS.
So, okay, all right.
All right. So we all know you are not a neophyte to this process.
No.
Yes, of course. I mean, you were here last year and you are here again, and even previous.
2019.
No,
that was USAC.
Last
I've done in 2019.
yeah, you were
They are sitting right
Yes.
here.
You've been careful. Right now,
Yeah, that's what
so then we'll have a
How do you feel?
conversation.
Yeah. It was a good experience trying to get the best out of people who want to leave. It is good that we had one of the.
Getting the best out of you.
I don't think I'm sure I'm giving my best, so I leave it to the panel to decide. I'm not giving my best.
What did you hear about us before coming in?
I heard that the panel is very strict in terms of what they expect to hear from you because it's not a playground. Given that someone has scaled the union to a particular stage that they need an individual who has what it takes to take it out from them. So you are serious on board, and I had to also prepare very well and not capitalize on my experience in past decisions to think I can just ride over the.
So what do you think now?
I am so sure that the board is really good because with the questions you're asking me, it's actually bringing the best version of my answers.
We've not started.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
think? So this is the
Don't you
best
see that I
version.
have shut some people up?
I'm still in the process.
Okay. That's okay. So I'm going to allow people to also ask you questions. And maybe we'll come back again. Then we'll see you in the next phase of this bit. That's okay. That one.
Thank you very much. If USAG is Senate, what is GAPS?
If you start the Senate, that is also said.
So I want to ask a question. If you have thought of it, then you answer. Otherwise, you do you intend bringing back the representation of technical universities of NUGS?
Yes.
You know what? Defer the question. Don't answer the
Yes.
question.
Okay.
We have other plans for
Okay, so can you give me the quorum of NEC?
The president and any other executives.
We didn't hear
Any
you.
other 9 executives?
Yes, the president and then any other 9 NEC members. I mean,
That's the quorum.
yes, that's what I'm
Who
doing.
are the NEC members?
The NEC, I should list them.
No.
Okay, so the NEC members are the five executives, 4, 5. The president, the secretary, the general secretary, secretary for education, secretary for finance. The 3 additional secretaries that are secretary for education that are appointed by the secretary.
You sacked me from NEC.
No, I'm still.
You sacked me from NEC.
I haven't.
You mentioned 9 people.
No, as of quorum.
You said there are 9. No, nobody mentioned quorum.
No, she asked. That is how I said that.
You asked for
Yes.
Or neck.
Yes.
And then you sacked me.
I said the president and 9 other members, and the chair said I should give the membership of NEC. So
I mentioned more than 8.
no,
And I'm not there.
no, you are part of the block, so I would have gotten the block leadership. But before I talk
9,
about that.
and you mentioned 8, and no block is there yet. So
In terms of the answer wasn't in relation to what he asked. It had to do with the members of NEC. So without any official order of answering the question, I was just.
I'm afraid for the next ISAC president.
Not at all. Don't do that.
Ignored me.
No, I can never ignore you, sir. I can never ignore you, sir.
So the quorum for NUGS is the president, general secretary, and 9 other members.
Pardon me.
The president, the secretary, and 9 other members. That's for them. Do you agree?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because reference to the constitution, it doesn't speak that way. Unless I'm quoting wrongly, I stand to be corrected. But
So what is the quorum?
You can sip water.
as I'm fine.
I'm telling you.
I'm fine. The quorum is the president and the 9 other members.
So I wouldn't want to ask questions, but let me guess, because you are saying this. So the president, okay, and then the blockheads. How many blockheads do you have?
We have. I don't have the number. I can mention.
How many? Yeah.
So we have USAC, GAPS, NASA, TAP, and then
What?
TAP,
Red tap.
TAP, the teacher training, and then NAT by the constitution, the technical schools.
So you take them out.
Also
Take them
I
out.
should take them.
So how many people do you have?
And regional SRs,
So how many do you have?
5.
You have 5 plus the president. So 5. Now the secretary for education. How many people? How many? I'm adding the secretary for education to the number of people you have.
3.
No, you have 5 people now.
So making 8.
Wait, you have. We're forming the quorum for NEC. We're forming the quorum for NEC. You are there, and 9 other people. And I've asked you the blockheads. You've mentioned 5 of them. Secretary and officers that you appoint. How many?
9.
You have 9. Do you form a quorum for NEC?
No, you don't.
Why don't you?
Because the president.
No, plus you. You plus these 9 people. Do you form a quorum for NEC?
It's 10. That makes it okay.
Do you form a quorum?
Yes.
You really think you form a quorum?
Yes, I think.
Do you know you would have a problem with your general secretary?
Yes.
Pardon me.
Do you know you would have a problem with the general secretary of NUGS?
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because
In forming the quorum of NEC, your general secretary is a must.
That is why I have a question for you. It looks like you won't even work with your general secretary.
that's not true.
Because you see, even if you didn't know
Looks like you
that the
sit
general
somewhere and
secretary,
just write a letter to them.
even if you didn't know that the general secretary is a must, in the list that I was mentioning, it should have appeared to you that why would I be mentioning people and leave the number 2 man? Like that's the number 2 man.
And where's Ope? Ope is coming.
You need an answer to that?
No, you don't have to tell me who pays.
Are you going to give me an answer to where Ope is?
No, I thought
The question of your number 2 man.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say that look, these are the things that brought us to the NUGS division.
Sure.
Okay, when there's a president who knows that his neck must necessarily comprise of somebody.
I wouldn't
take
want
the
you to
person
go there
out.
because we would talk about this, we would interact with you on this in detail with your other 2 colleagues. So in the next phase, we will talk about the division. So I'm sure we will go there. I would allow a while to ask you. Yes. So we will then, you just go and prepare for the next phase.
That's the full meaning of the abbreviated word.
So that's the question. So understanding of the question is part of the answer.
So NUGS, meaning the National Union of Ghana Students, stands for the interest of students.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Baby, I think I skipped something regarding your CV. What is the least number of referees for the unofficial?
I know two. Yeah.
Okay. That is the least number.
I know
Okay.
two.
With your CV, I have reference
Okay.
instead of referees. Why?
So my CV was prepared by a format. So with the format that I extracted for the preparation, it was indicated over there as
Do you know what a reference is when it comes to writing?
Yes, I know.
What's it?
Reference is acknowledging a source from which you picked an
No,
information.
not that. In terms of how that is. Yes, in terms of a CV. When you say reference.
So in terms of a CV, reference has to do with someone you can get in touch to and confirming every information. I've put there.
And referee. And a referee.
So it comes in two folds. It's either you can pick the reference or reference. In my understanding, I stand to be corrected, and I would admittedly.
So a referee refers to an actual person or someone who you put down a resume who can attest or vouch for your skills. Okay. And then a reference is someone who, yes, it's a written document by someone you have worked for.
Okay.
That is a reference. So please.
Thank you very much.
And then you have two academic references. Okay, I've corrected them to two academic referees. Why? Meanwhile, you said as part of your experiences that you are the youth president of Gracious Firehouse Chapel.
Yes,
Your
yes.
pastor couldn't, you didn't, I mean.
So the reason why you have these two academic people on my CV is because if you look at most of the positions on my CV, they are offices that I held while I was here. And that's the registrar and the principal. They are individuals that saw whatever that I did in the school. However, wherever I service as a youth president has been clearly indicated on my form at the portion where we needed someone to sign as a religious personality. So I just felt because he has signed over there, it's best I defend my positions with these two individuals.
Also, your social referee, or you don't have one?
I don't have one.
So,
Yes.
you know, you could do with an academic referee, a religious referee, social referee. Now, you don't have anyone to attest to your, what's the word? Yes, your moral standards. And so that is why,
Not even your pastor.
well, when you come to school, you can be an entirely different person. So there's no one in terms of social referee who can attest to your moral standards. And there's no one who can attest to your religious standards in terms of whatever religion you belong to. And so you decided that the formal way we know you, or however you behave on campus, because on campus you can behave properly because there are rules that will see to you leaving campus if you do not obey them. So that is why you can only provide academic referees.
That's
You don't have any social, no religious referees.
that is not true.
No, you mentioned you don't have a social referee.
Yes, I accept that.
You said you don't have a social referee.
I'm given a feedback to why I don't have that
Okay.
social referee and religious. Otherwise, that this is
It's even more relevant to
exactly, but
than an
it's
academic one.
not to challenge the panel, but what I am thinking as I prepared to meet the panel was that I am meeting a panel that would be very much interested in my contributions to the institution that I have served as a leader. Hence, that's made me
This
think.
is not something that is left for you to think of.
Okay.
It is what is the standard? What
Mr.
do
Youth
I expect
President.
you to do?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Youth President, please be after. Are you not the youth president?
I am.
Don't matter.
Okay.
Gentlemanly, you don't matter.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome. So you can take up your fowl and your water. No, take it. Yes.
Just my foul.
No, everything and your water.
All your belongings.
And choose between the national anthem and the pledge. Which one would you want to recite?
If you choose the national anthem, you have to do 2 stanzas.
Pardon me.
The national anthem and the pledge.
The
But
pledge.
if you choose the anthem, you do 2 stanzas. Stanza 1 and 2.
The pledge.
Okay.
I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana in all things to uphold and defend the
There's no success.
But you are giving us a short. No, but you know it's set up for you. The next person.
I'll go wait that for you.
Yes.
Let's put help. Please, let's put together. Okay, so yes, so keep this Mr. Award. Hi,
Don't take it away with you. Mommy, yes, mommy. No, you can't come. You will come inside the video. What are you coming? Mommy. Oh, no boy.
Please share the link.
Alpha.
Please share the link.
Where is
NUGS vetting, share the link. DTC official GA, share the link.
This guy, I'm not seeing him.
Yeah, you're right.
He's He's the NUGS president. He's our lawyer.
We are letting him go.
Other fraud.
NUGS president, there's nothing else.
Who is
NUGS president, come and sit down.
You come to
You come for Congress. The way you are flirting with me.
Hey, Mom, the thing is still streaming. Do you know that the thing is still live?
So ask him.
Microphone is not connected. It's not connected. And about 27 benefit. Let's see a break. And I will do a money and a buy. But one house a Facebook on here. So we won't argue many people. Oh, we're not going to do it. No, this thing is. I see.
Kelvin, happy for my life.
Dr. Sly, how goes the day?
How goes the day?
You want to sit down? But before I would want to offer you a seat, I want to ask you a question. At what point did you find yourself seated in the SRC office behind us?
Yes. So I took an up to the SRC office because I was doing this
I can't hear you.
We can't hear you. I took a nap in the SRC office because I was indisposed. And a lot of noise at there. There were not enough chairs, so I took a nap.
There were not enough chairs, so the AC did not offer you a chair.
Oh, there were not enough chairs.
The EC did not offer you a chair. That's my question. My question is not if there were or there were not.
Well, there were not enough chairs, so that
the EC did not offer you a chair.
Yes.
He did not.
Yes. But upon further request, we did.
So you had to request for a chair.
Yeah.
Is that the reason why you moved from upstairs?
No, I wasn't well.
So who did you inform?
Take a nap. So
who did you inform?
The earlier communication was that once it was time for a certain portfolio to be vetted, we are going to take them to another room to quarantine them. And then the argument was that if it was time for the vetting and you were not around, it was going to be at your own peril. So you had certain aspirants moved out, some go to circle, and were not doing well, looking at the noise.
Who went to circle? Who went to circle?
Well,
no, you brought it up.
Who went to circle?
If you didn't want to discuss, you wouldn't have brought it up.
It wasn't solicited, you gave it to us.
You just
well, that was hearsay. I mean, so I cannot.
Who went to circle?
So who went to circle?
It was hearsay that one of the aspirants
went to circle.
Name of whom I don't know.
So, Dr. Sly, you mean to tell me that because someone went to circle, you decided to come to the SRC office?
No, that was
right behind this room.
That was in the.
And the person who went to circle did not inform the EC before going to circle. So because of that, you decided that you were going to move to the SRC office to take a nap.
No, that wasn't why. I went to take a nap because I wasn't well.
So who did you inform that you were not well?
Your own discretion.
Well, my moving down, I didn't inform any of the issues I was going to take a nap there.
Because you disregarded them.
No. I think they were also busy running out of skelter. So I felt
they were busy running.
I was trying to put the whole show, calling them, getting people to calm down. Because I felt like there was more of like extra trouble for my bad.
Is your bad?
Yes, it would have been better for me to inform you.
It would have been because I brought in a guest to this vet. She knows absolutely nothing. She's not around. Nothing about NUGS. She's just a law student who came to witness what is going on. She asked me, which gentleman is Sly? And I asked why. According to her, and she actually took a video of you. You were actually talking to somebody else right here. So I'm asking again, were you not well?
I wasn't well.
So if you were not well, do you remember the scene you're talking about?
I don't.
You don't remember the scene? You don't remember arguing with anybody?
In front of.
You don't remember arguing with anybody?
In front of.
That means you've had series of arguments.
No.
But in front here, you
No, I don't remember.
Because I'm asking if you
any
argued
of
with anybody, and you are saying that is it in front here?
I haven't.
So have you argued with anybody today?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
Yeah, I haven't.
You haven't argued with anybody
No, I
today?
haven't.
Dr. Sly, I
Madam
think
Chair.
you do not respect us.
I respect you.
I think you do not. Because when I found out that you did not inform any of us, but you were found here, I was disappointed. Because like I told BBC, you are not a neophyte to this either, are you?
No, I'm.
You are not. So you know the system very well, right?
Yeah, I do.
Of course. So I'm supposed to treat you like a senior here, right?
As you may.
Yes.
As you may, the wisest.
No, don't do that. I'm supposed to treat you as a senior here. So when I found out that you actually decided to move here, I mean, so why not any of the offices there? Why not even the president's office? Because I'm sure you have a very good relationship with him.
There was the president's office.
No, I mean the next president. Or there was noise over there too.
Well, no, but there was a series of meetings in and out. I think we even had one meeting in the president's office. So I felt like that was a comfortable.
At the time we were on recess.
Yes.
I cannot tell. I cannot.
You cannot
You
tell
cannot
whether we were
tell
on recess.
whether we were on recess or not.
Oh no, there were times. I mean, we even had a meeting in the president's office, and I couldn't tell how people the place was because people have been in and out of the place. But I felt that the local Southeast president was much calmer. I mean, the place was airtight. You literally cannot even hear anything
And so
that was
you
happening.
would
But
want
then
the
again,
panel-
I aired in that when the electoral commissioner brought that to me, I briefly submitted myself and I stayed out.
You what?
I stayed.
No, you made a statement. You what?
I submitted myself to it.
You use an adjective for the submission.
I will.
You were asking.
I wanted to inquire from him. Do you wanted to accept the fact that you did that? Yes. Was it deliberate?
Oh, it wasn't deliberate. It was just getting the police to rest. It really didn't even have to do with coming close to the scene. It was just about getting a good place to rest.
I asked that simply because when you take, if you are talking about noise, even the people here, the gentleman here and his people, the kind of noise they make when aspirants do enter, it's even more than the footsteps, the noise that footsteps create up there. And so, for me, I find it very difficult to understand.
No, it was a group of, I've been very happy as well, chatting, talking, and making fun of ourselves.
And so that even made you comfortable to even sleep well.
Oh, it was it was a bit of a worry for me. But then again, it's majority should have their way, minority maybe should just have their say. So I just found a good place to rest. But granted that was the ECs had issues with it. I just agreed and I went back to sit.
So for you, you think it's fine?
Second.
For you think it's fine?
Oh, I don't think so because the EC doesn't think so. They do run the show.
You don't think so because the EC doesn't think so?
Yes.
The EC is thinking for you now?
No, the EC is not thinking for me, but they are setting the pace for this vetting. So once they say, even though you entered,
that means you do not accept that what you did was wrong. No, but because if you say that you don't think so because the EC
because initially I didn't think I was erring, and they said that was close to the vetting room. You can't be there. They explained to me, and I
didn't think that you should have informed the EC or even any of us that you are unwell and you want to find a place to rest.
I should have told them.
This is your smile for me. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself to us.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm told you didn't apologize. To us?
For the act.
Yeah, I did apologize to them. But now.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to apologize. Please, I beg, please.
Up.
Please, oh, don't do that.
Up.
I thought you had apologized, but you drew my attention to the fact that no, I think you think we don't deserve an apology.
I don't think so. I think
you don't think we deserve an apology.
I think we deserve an.
And so let's hear you.
So I really apologize for moving out of the quarantine room without permission and then for coming close to the person.
Honestly, when I said I was going to say something else, but
you want to say no?
I know what was coming.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself to us.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Sylvester Anapo. I'm a final year executive master's in leadership and governance student at Central University. I'm here to be vetted for the position of NUGS president.
Who in Central University can confirm that you're a student?
Okay, so my forms in particular was confirmed by the acting dean of students.
I can't hear
Professor. My forms were confirmed by the acting dean of students, Professor Juma.
Okay, your form was confirmed. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead. I'm listening.
By Prof. Juma. I had two recommendation letters from two of my lecturers, lawyer Frederick Asamoah, who taught me strategic leadership, and then from Dr. Edmund Kobler, who taught me macroeconomics and research methods.
Have you registered this year as a student?
Yes.
When was this?
Say again.
You heard me. You heard me.
Yeah.
You heard me.
Yeah.
So answer.
Yeah, I'm previously.
When was this?
Earlier in the semester.
When was this?
The exact date I may have to get back to you.
You can give me a month. Earlier in the semester is vague. So when did you register?
Okay, so I registered in March.
In March. With Central University.
Yes, Central University.
I personally made a call to two officials in your school. And none of them could confirm that you were a student. None of them. That is why I'm asking this. So I would want to request for a proof of your status as a student. Because, let's leave it there. I would want a proof of that by close of, is it 12? So close of tomorrow. 5 p.m. I want that. Tomorrow is Saturday. No, if you've registered, there's a proof, right?
Yes.
Should be on your student portal.
Yes.
So on with Central University. So even with my forms, you requested for a letter of attestation to prove studentship, which I have provided to the vetting committee. So I believe that that is proof of my studentship.
So I'm not making sense.
No, I'm not saying you are not.
So if you need
No,
a further
I'm asking for a proof, and you are telling me that there's an attestation. So you want me to take that and not the proof I'm requesting for?
So I feel that the attestation letter that I submitted.
I want a proof of your registration as a student in March.
So, can I say something? All right. A school can acknowledge that you are their student. Okay. That's one phase of it. But there could also be a situation where, although you are a student of that institution, you are probably not registered. Now you realize that if you read most of the statutes of if you read the statutes of some institutions, they will refer to a student as someone who is a bona fide member, junior member of the institute or the institution. And then in the interpretation part or in the explanation of who a bona fide member of the institution would be, they would say that would be a person or a junior member who has registered for the academic year or semester. So you might be a student, but as to whether you are a bona fide member of the institution at the time of request is another thing. You agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
So the request of the layer she's making is not out of place. Do you agree?
Well,
you agree that your attestation is one thing and your registration is another.
Well, what I agree is that my attestation came in to prove my studentship and the fact that my studentship is still active.
So you don't agree with him?
I don't practically agree with him because if you have a deferred status and you request for a letter of attestation, they would actually state on it that so and so probably has deferred the term. But I don't have a deferred status.
An attestation, they would just tell us when, in fact, if you read what they have given us, it just says that you are a student and you're expected to graduate this year, so the year. That's really it. So we just know the year you are supposed to graduate, 2023. The question is whether even in 2023, because that's what the institution expects of you, that you graduate. But other circumstances can cause you not to graduate, like registration.
Okay.
Now you agree with me?
Oh,
Now do you agree with me?
Well, I think that...
have I brought the argument home for you?
Well, I think that you made the argument clear, but it still brings back to the point that I got my letter of
Except you did not register. Because you don't have to let us go back and forth.
I mean, if you register,
I mean, if that is the clarified letter you actually do, I can place a request to the campus.
Or do you have a portal?
Yes.
When you open your portal, we should know whether you have registered or not.
Yes. So that is what I'm requesting for. Even after here, you may want to just check and let us have that. I'm requesting for a proof that you've registered on the portal. That is all I'm requesting. Can we get that?
So in Central University.
So do you have a problem with showing us the portal?
So in Central, I want to give you clarity because you see, unlike University of Ghana, where at the beginning of the semester, you know, you can print the whole form out, maybe because A equals B equals C equals D. You are basically given the outline, you get it. And once you go through from semester to semester, once you pay fees, and once you are eligible to write the exam, you register. So that's
once
why
you pay
that's
fees,
why I'm saying that.
Are you saying in Central University there is no requirement on you to register for a course? You just have to pay.
We were the second batch of executive masters in leadership and governance.
You could have been the 20th batch. The condition doesn't change.
So I mean, I could actually get what you want from me. I feel that the station was exhausted.
But don't feel it is. We are asking for a second. I mean, why do you want us to feel that what you feel is enough for us? Wait, do you realize that this is a job interview?
Yeah,
this is a job interview. You've come for a job interview. The persons your employers have appointed to interact with you, to tell them whether you are qualified for the job or not, say that. Apart from the things that you have already given us, give us one more thing.
all right.
And you say that you feel that all that you have given them should be enough. So we should make our decision based on what you have given us. Having in mind that we've requested something and you say you will give us.
So I think I made a comment that I was going to get the request that you have made for you.
When?
I don't know whether the timeline of tomorrow.
It's a portal.
It's a portal.
So you don't need to go back to the school. It's a portal.
So if I open my students portal, I can show you from the students portal that I have registered.
Yes.
If you say that is not the case in Central University, we can actually just confirm.
Yeah, that's actually not being
So
the
in
case
Central
that's
University,
actually not being the case with the program I read. We're just three in class. That has not been the case. So in your request for that, I can just get back to you and get back to you on the working day. And that's what I'm telling you.
but you know our reports might come out before this working day.
When? How did you register?
How do you register?
Yes.
So these are the issues. The semester starts, okay, and you know these are the courses you are doing. The semester starts. If these are papers you haven't taken and you want to do, you register for them. You pay whatever you have to pay, and that's it.
So where do you register? On the portal?
You don't register on the portal. This like
So where do you go to register? Is there somebody sitting in an office that would say you have registered for dance and
okay, so this is what happened.
drama?
First semester, for example, from my transcript that we had research methods, we had I think 4 courses, right? Once we had paid our fees and we were certified, we went into lectures. At the end of the semester, the grades reflected.
So it is an auto
Yes,
registration.
yes.
You don't do the registration.
You don't do the
Once you
registration.
pay the fees and the school deems you registered.
Yeah, for the course that I do, and that clarification can be made from the dean of students.
But so why were you talking about a portal?
So the point is that we have a students portal that does reflect your grades, macroeconomics and all that. And it was because my program was at like more of like formative stages. So what happens is that they tell us the courses we are going to do. The semester starts, we do them, and then once the exams are done, you know the results. So that's how it's been. But if you want, a very formal, because currently I'm doing projects. I'm doing a project work, and I'm taking a course in ethics and leadership. So if you want more of like
What
something
teaches you ethics?
ethics and leadership, Dr. Brady.
I thought it was Henry. I thought it was Henry.
I don't know. So if you wanted some form of
But what's his first name? Dr. What?
Dr. Mark.
Aiden. You're smiling.
So you give us what we want.
Yeah, I can work on it.
Okay, so when are we looking at?
Monday.
Before noon. Don't
You
try.
will try.
Get it.
I'll get it.
Don't try. Get it.
Before we welcome, let me inform you. We're going to have 2 phases. Have I told you? I
But you
haven't.
heard.
Perfect.
Where did you hear
Where
it?
did you hear
Where
this?
did you hear it?
One of the ECs gave us a brief. That
One of the
it may
ECs.
be in 2 sessions, but they
Which
have
of the
not taken
ECs?
a
Which of the
final decision.
Which of the ECs?
The name doesn't, but I think Daniel. He briefed the 3
The
of us.
main EC
I didn't say the main EC, Daniel.
on them.
Yes.
That's
Did you give him any briefing about the fact that you'll be in 2 phases?
So it's all the three.
All the three.
So you
That this
understand?
meeting will be in 2 phases.
Okay, so
Is it? But you can clarify maybe that.
So it's going to be in 2 phases. This very session with just you, and the second would be the 3 of you seated, and the first the 3 of you at the same time. I like the way you're smiling. Why?
You've been waiting for that opportunity.
It is not a debate. It's a vetting. Yes. Are you okay with that? I'm okay. You're okay with that? But why are you smiling like that?
I'm just relaxing.
It's an opportunity for you.
For God plus man.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, here you go.
Dr. Amon,
Yes.
we're going to have an interaction on the CV. I believe this document was put together by yourself. Am I correct? Okay. So every item here was provided by you. Am I correct?
Yes.
Did you go through the documents before submitting?
Yeah, I did.
You did. On your CV, let me start from the last page. You have reference with nothing, and then you indicate that available upon request. What does that mean?
Right, thank you very much. That's to me that upon request.
I can't hear you.
Thank you very much. That's to me that upon a request, I will actually put out who my guarantors for the CV are.
Upon request. Please, do you know the format of CV writer?
Yes,
And they indicated, no, what, okay, give me the format.
okay, so the format is basically what I run through in my CV, contact information, personal information, profile, went through education skills, work experience, leadership and co-curriculum activities, hobbies and interests, awards and achievements. I mean, for the purposes of this vetting, I tailored it to suit the purposes of the vetting. For other CVs, I could have added things like career goals, and I ended.
There's noise. Please continue.
Should I come in?
Second.
Should I come in?
Yes, yes.
Alright, so I started off initially with my name, went through my contact information, personal information, personal profile, educational background, key skills, work experience that I've had over the 2 years, leadership experience and co-curriculum activities, hobbies and interests, awards and achievements, and then I ended up with references. For the purposes of this interview, I took out certain things like career goals. I tailored it purposely to suit.
Do you remember that my honorable colleague said to you that, are you aware this is a job interview sort of?
Yes.
And your response was yes. And then you're telling us that you took out your career what?
I tailored
to suit purposes of, you know, our purpose for the vetting.
For the purposes of yeah,
So we don't have any referee to actually attest that.
But Miss Dr. Sly.
yes.
You really call him Mr. Slack.
Yes, I almost told you, yes.
Such a sin.
How can I do that? So were you expecting us to call on you to request for referees from you? Were you expecting us to do that?
I felt that once it was necessary to confirm certain
Once it was what?
necessary to confirm certain details, I was willingly available to submit my referees.
But why did you want us to go through that? It's like you could have just given them to us.
Not fair.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that has also that's been another format of CVs which.
Let me let Obi school you on that. That format of CV you are bringing in here. I only want to let me let
I
you.
appreciate that format of CV. Only that, you see, so when you're sending general CVs to different organizations, among others, the reason why you put the upon request there in some instances is that in some instances, the organization or whichever institution might end up telling you that give us 4 academic referees. True. So give us 4 academic referees. Perhaps maybe your normal referees are not academic referees. So if you have the upon request, you are willing, like upon request, available upon request, it means that when they request for those 4 academic referees, you would give them. If the intention is that when they request for, so maybe another organization would just want 2 social referees and 1 academic referee and 1 religious referee. So every organization and how they pick. So upon request, you would give them the kind of referees they want. But for NUGS, for this job, you know. I mean, you've been here before. It's a case that you've been before this panel before. Not the same persons, but this panel as a NUGS vetting committee. You know the kind of referees that you need to put there. So it didn't have to be upon request. You just needed to save all of us the trouble and put the referees there. I mean, standard 2 referees. Doctor, don't you know so?
Well, I do, but alluding to me being here before, I think that I'm learning this from you. Because the very first, I think Palmer in the chair was still in the end. It wasn't much of a problem in the community, but having.
I'm just telling you
being schooled.
Oh, you didn't? We got educated together. I'm only telling you. Saying that last year.
The last 2 years.
Last
right?
2 years.
Last 2 years.
So I'm just saying that you and I mean, we agree that the upon request is because certain organizations might request for certain kind of referees.
But this one is just.
Or you didn't know why the upon request format is there?
Well,
You saw it
somewhere.
You thought as a fancy format.
But it's the upon request. I mean, there's actually been times that I've submitted CVs and they've actually asked for my references because they wanted to find out.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they asked for specific referees, right?
Yes.
It was possible you're going to ask me this.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you just said that you've been schooled and you agree.
You agree.
I agree, but I mean, it's also possible that you could have asked me.
No. You are taking us through a lot of stress. You want us to come back to you. When did you file for nomination?
I filed for nomination on
7. Do you know how many days it took for us to peruse all these documents to come and sit here? We've not slept 48 hours straight. So you don't expect that we call you. Hi, Dr. Sly, can you? I mean, no. So you understand that you didn't do us good.
Yeah, I could have done it.
Thank you.
Are you a Christian?
The Palmer is asking if
Yes,
you're a Christian.
I'm a Christian.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, please.
There is nothing about testifying. I don't see anything that the faith will tell us about that.
Well, I think I didn't put up anything already, but a bit of in my personal profile, I would agree that anything is possible in Christ, and we are willing to work and fight.
Dr. Sly, also on CV, since you are learning new ways of writing CVs, I'm sure you have been told, or you know that these days in writing or in putting out your CV, things like marital status, your date of birth, and all those things are not important. The reason why, in fact, you are strongly advised against those particular things these days is so that people don't form some prejudice against you or some bias against you. So you are single. There are organizations that when there are people who have personal sentiments against single people. So if your CV, your marital status is single, and there's someone who is an employer, he doesn't want to employ a single person, but he knows that it's politically incorrect to ask you if you're single. And then you come, and then your CV is already saying you're single. Your CV is saying you were born in 2000, in the year 2000. No, yours is not saying 2000. I mean, I'm trying not to give them your age. Your CV says you were born in the year 2000. There's a kind of employer who says, why should I employ a small boy? And perhaps when you speak to the person will appreciate your maturity. And so you prevent putting these things on your CV. You avoid putting these things on your CV so that certain prejudices are not formed against you. So while you have learned that it's not every time you do upon request, you have also learned that you should expound this personal information part, the things you have put there. You are from a Wutu, Beku, in the central region. There's probably somebody who doesn't even like people from central region. But if you don't, honestly, if you don't tell me, do you think I would even know you are from the central region? No. You are dealing with human beings. So you have to avoid things that are not related to the job you are looking for. You agree?
I think I like the reasoning behind it.
You like
I
it?
like the reasoning behind it, but I think that it will also be a point of discussion. Maybe regardless of all the biases that you come up with, I mean, it's something that
you like to put there. So you see, we evolve. Sometime in maybe 2009, 2008, 2010, it was not a problem. In fact, if you do a CV without those things, they'll question you. But the world is changing, and we are beginning to put in certain mechanisms to prevent people's prejudices. So in light of those things that the world is learning now, we are telling you that expound that from your CV. Don't take it from me. When you leave here, check out morning seeds.
Even when have you applied to any international organization before?
Not yet.
Okay, so when you get to gender, you're smiling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There are about 3 or 4 options, and one of them would be not to mention. There's a reason for that, because nowadays if you are applying and you don't take care, and you are not LGBTQ and the others, they'll be prejudiced against you. So that, it's yours.
I can even give you mine too.
Yes. So that is the intent behind that. I hope you've learned that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, learning.
Oh, wow.
When we come to the hospital, we will learn too.
You also learn.
Thank you very much. Please, what is your
11:14.
11:40.
Thank you very much. Please, can you give me the quorum of neck?
The code for NIC. So the code for NIC is the president, the national president, the general secretary, and at least 9 members.
Thank you very much. So if NUGS is CC, what is USA?
If NUGS is CC, USA will be sent.
What does NUGS stand for?
National Union Dynasty.
Do you think you are right? What does NUGS stand for?
National Union Dynasty.
It's not asking about the full meaning. The union itself. What does it stand for?
Oh, okay. What the union stands for in terms of what they do. I'm trying to clarify the question. I can say that what the union stands for.
Understanding of the question is part of the answer.
Okay, so NUGS, being the National Union of Ghana Students, is a union that has been formed to champion the welfare and interests of students of Ghana. Talking about Ghanaian students in Ghana and Ghanaian students outside, and even foreign students who is schooling in Ghana.
Which of the articles stipulate the aims and objectives of the union?
Article 10.
Okay, and so what are some? Give us 5 aims and objectives of NUGS. Why are you smiling?
Aims and objectives of NUGS. So first of all,
are you aware it is classified primary and secondary?
yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
Alright, so primary aims of the union.
I didn't classify.
Okay.
I only asked you to give me
Okay, so I'll give you
5.
five aims of the union. First of all, to represent the students, the Ghanaian students, locally, nationally, and then internationally. Secondly, to seek to protect and safeguard the interest of Ghanaian students at all times. Also, to protect the interest of the Ghanaian youth.
Article 6 of the Constitution, Article 6 of the NUGS Constitution stipulates the motto and slogan of the union. True or false?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean by you are not sure?
I don't know.
I only asked true or false.
That would be a guess. If you want me to guess, I can.
But I never gave an option of guessing.
False.
Anyway.
Can I finish up with my question? I give so that you do that.
Okay, you continue.
Okay. So the other bit, which is a secondary aim, but that another function of the union was to comment on issues of national importance that may also be in the interest of students. Another aim was to create a platform for the discussion